Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you're tuning in. It's your sis Moon Magic, and welcome back to my YouTube channel and to those on the Patreon. Welcome back, Patreon family, for another general tarot reading for the collective. First of all, don't mind this right here, our little mask. It's not a real person, I swear. I don't want it to freak you out in the middle of the reading when you actually notice it there. And don't mind the suitcase in the background. Everything's kind of all over the place as we are transitioning and getting back on the road, hitting South Oregon for some shows this weekend, and then also flying out to the EU on July 28th and hitting about 4 countries out there. So really excited about that. Lots of movement and fluid things happening on my end. I hope you are well. I hope you are doing much better than when I last spoke to you all on our last tarot reading. The energy was heavy, and the energy has been heavy collectively right now, but I do feel like we're coming out on the other side. So this reading is going to be focusing on what it is that you most need to hear at this moment in your life right now. And that's wherever you are in your journey and how to best support you in your life in this moment. My intention is, even though this reading is done in a specific time for the general collective energy right now in this moment, my intention when I do these readings is that this reading is applicable and is able to support you whenever you actually click on this. I want you to trust that this is a timeless reading and trust that if you are here, this reading is meant for you. My intention is that these readings only reach those who this reading is for, so that it feels like a personal reading just for you, giving you exactly what it is that you need to best support you on your journey, affirm you on your journey right now, and just give you that sweet, sweet love, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what tarot does for me, is it always helps me to feel more connected to myself, more connected to my truth, helps to guide me and point me to that inner knowledge that we all already know is inside. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started in looking at what is the collective energy right now and how we can best navigate it. And we're going to go from there. So with that being said, I always like to start my readings with grounding into the energy. This is also great for you as the viewer who's watching, because it helps you to also ground your energy into the reading. So if you want to join me, you can place one hand over your heart, one hand over your gut region, and we're just gonna take a deep breath in through the nose and out the mouth. Thanking Creator for this day, thanking Divine for this day. Another deep breath through the nose. Slowing down our breath, our heart rate, out through the mouth. And starting to think about what it is that's on our heart today. Just acknowledging it can be so powerful. Another deep breath in. And release. Whether you're feeling anxious about something, going through heartache, excited, going through transformation and transitions, got those butterflies, or just open to hearing whatever it is that is coming through for your highest good. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. And ask that those messages come in now in the best way, in the way that we most need to hear for you on your journey. And let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the Hip Hop Tarot deck. This is my favorite deck to start with, just to get the overall energy. It's a major arcana deck only. So we're going to go ahead and look at what is the overall energy for the collective right now in this moment. And if you like this content, make sure to subscribe down below, because there's more videos like this. Give it a like, a thumbs up, drop a comment. I love being able to see every single time I post a video, at least one person comments and is like, wow, this message was for me, or this felt like a personal reading. And it just gives me that confirmation that those intentions are being felt, seen, and heard by the divine, are being carried out. I just really appreciate you all being here and rocking with me. All right, we have the World card as our major transition, which is funny, and the star card, which I saw at the beginning. This is funny because this feels very similar to the energy that was not the last tarot reading, but the reading before that, where it was talking about going into a transition of entering and beginning new chapters. But this time it really feels like coming full circle with something right now in your life. So a lot of people right now, if you go and check out the last reading that I did, it was a very, very heavy energy. And I would say for my own personal research that I do as a tarot reader, which I love to collect personal research just from conversations I have with others, things like that, and just kind of get a pulse on what is going on energetically for a lot of folks. And what I found was a lot of people were kind of pushed to the brink of their, excuse me. Gotta stay hydrated, you feel me? Okay, we're back. A lot of people were pushed to the brink, basically, of their mental health for many folks. Just like really, whatever it is, I think all of us have certain areas in our life, certain aspects of our life that I will call like trigger points. For example, it could be something like not feeling worthy enough in your relationships. It could be something like feeling like you're constantly a screw up in life, and no matter what you do, you keep messing it up. It could be feeling like, like your parents never were there for you, so nobody else is ever going to be there for you. An abandonment wound, whatever it is that these wounds, traumas, and triggers are that you have carried in this life, that you have had in your life up to this point. And sometimes we're not even really aware of it because it can be something from when we were very young, or something that we feel like we worked through and then comes back up very sudden and very strong. I feel like a lot of people have those repeated patterns, I will say, repeated triggers, repeated trauma points that were being very tested this last season. So if you check out that last reading, you'll know what I'm talking about. And so for a lot of us, it really tested us and pushed us to a point where, to the brink of and the edge of our insanity, almost pushed us to almost insanity, right? And so now here we are, a new week, a new sweep of energy coming through. And this energy right now with these two cards here is showing me that the prayers have been heard. The nourishment that you have been giving yourself, even during that time, if you felt like you didn't make the right choices, like maybe you weren't coping with it in the best way possible. Maybe you were, crying on your knees and asking the universe why, right? We all have those times in life where we're pushed to that point. This is that after feeling of coming out of that and seeing the full circle, seeing how understanding what those things are trying to show you, overstanding that even if you don't have it all figured out and you haven't figured out how to completely navigate it, or how to, not get tripped up on this trigger or this situation, it's overstanding what it is and overstanding why that situation had to happen that's been going on in your life these last couple of weeks. The extreme trials you have been pushed to these last couple of weeks, understanding that these actually are things that you're being shown. And I'm really focusing on the way that Beyonce in the middle is looking down here at the bowl, but it feels almost like looking at these different aspects, these different rooms in our life, our mind, our mental, and figuring out, oh, okay, I understand this, and this, and why they're all here, and what it is that I'm supposed to be learning from this moment, and why it is that I keep tripping up on it, and how when I thought that this situation was happening, I felt like my whole world was crumbling and the universe was out to get me. But now with the star card here, I'm seeing how much the universe really loves me and is pouring into me and is trying to help me so that I don't completely have a panic attack, breakdown, mental health crisis in a moment that I don't have the support that I need, or that I'm not able to have that space that I need. Whatever it is for you, right? It's this situation working out itself so we don't have to get to that point later, so that we gain our strength and insight and those lessons and graduate from that level to a new era, to a new way of being. So I love that, because that to me is a lot of growth, a lot of transformation that does not come easy. So if you have been struggling these last couple of weeks, you have been feeling a lot of heavy energy, you've been being pushed to the edge and just feeling like, man, everything is against you. This is confirmation right here that this is you graduating from that, you coming up to a level to where now you can see it for what it really is, and understand what it is and why it was there in your life, and what it is that you are trying to grow, heal, and learn and transform from. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards for some more like specific situations of what is going on during this kind of time. You have Queen of Cups, Two of Swords, King of Cups, and Queen of Pentacles reverse. Okay. So I'm going to start with these two, the Queen of Cups and the Two of Swords. The Queen of Cups here, it first kind of came out reversed, so I do want to kind of mention that as well. And then the Two of Swords. With it combined, I feel like there's still a lot of things that, even though you may be on this other side almost of the tunnel of the light right now, of whatever drastic situations have been kind of pushing you lately, it still feels like you may feel like you're still blind to know exactly what it is of how to move. You may still feel stuck. You may still feel like you don't know which way to turn. Even if you can see it for what it is, even if you know this situation happened because I'm learning on how to work on loving myself more. This situation happened because I'm learning on how to slow down more and say no more. This situation happened because I'm learning how to speak up for myself and express my boundaries, right? So you may have that knowledge, that insight, that understanding now, but that doesn't mean that you necessarily feel like you know exactly how to avoid getting put into that situation again in the future. And this could make you feel, like you don't have control right now of this moment in your life. You may feel a desire to want to manipulate or force the situation or do the most, right? And what Spirit is saying here and showing here is this is a situation that you're really going to need to use a lot of empathy and compassion and speak from your heart and emotional intelligence, and be in a place of loving up on yourself truly, fully. But doing so in a way that I also see with these two, being very empowered and protected with that, especially if you are a water sign. I mentioned this in my last video too. I have lots of water in my chart. I am a Cancer moon, and also just have a lot of dominating water in my energy. I'm a Pisces Aries cusp sun sign, born at exactly at 0 degrees Aries, and also have my Mars in Pisces, my Saturn in Pisces. I think my Neptune's in Pisces. So much Pisces, it's ridiculous. So I can be very watery and have to really be mindful. I mentioned in the last video, and this message is coming through again for those who may also be on a watery type of person, or just be in a place right now where a lot of your emotions are really being pulled on. Even if you're not a water sign, you may just find it is Cancer season in general. And a lot of people struggle with Cancer season because, especially if you're not a water sign, you're not used to feeling so many emotions so strongly and not exactly sure how to navigate them or what to do with them. And so this right here is just showing me that this is a time period. Well, yes, you may have come out on the other side. You may not be fully on the other side, but you may start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But you still need to make sure that you're practicing mindfulness. You need to be diligent in protecting your boundaries. You need to be diligent in protecting your energy, and you need to be diligent in protecting your emotional and mental health, because right now it can really turn really fast. So I think this is just that reminder of that, because you don't want to be in a place where you're in the Queen of Cups reverse, where you are being domineering, where you are being manipulative, where you are being controlling, where you are just like spewing venom emotionally, trying to hurt someone because you're coming from a place of hurt. So Spirit is just showing that this energy might be present still right now in this moment collectively. So to be mindful that even though you may not even be aware of it, you may not even be seeing how this energy is playing out, it's there, and you need to make sure that you're doing your part to protect yourself. That would be a good advice, a good recommendation during this time period, and something that even again, if you're not a very watery person, you may not feel it as strongly, but let's say your partner is a water sign, your best friend is a water sign, your sister, your mother, your daughter, brother, sister, your sibling of whatever gender, right? You may see that they are experiencing a lot of emotional turmoil. They may be giving you late night texts like on a mental breakdown type of situation, and you may be like, wow, this is too much for me because I'm not as much of a emotional person, right? So just something for you to be mindful of as well, that this is something that the people around you may be struggling with and may not even be able to see, and that could be really difficult. So just with this energy here, it's just being mindful and gaining an awareness of it, and knowing that it's not something that we're out of the clear, we're out of the waters, everything's great now, because we made it through this extremely emotional aspect. Sorry, I had a little meditation music on in the background, and of course it started playing commercials. But you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that to just keep in mind as we continue forward. All right, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and now focus on the other two cards. I got the King of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the King of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles here, I see this as a companionship, a partnership. Now, this can be a partnership with someone in your life, right? So maybe you yourself, or the King of Cups if you are a masculine person watching this, or maybe you just identify with the King of Cups as being someone who's more emotionally intelligent, empathetic, you know, balanced in their emotions, emotionally intuitive. And then you see the Queen of Pentacles here, and the Queen of Pentacles is reversed. And the Queen of Pentacles reversed for me always represents someone who is struggling with feeling secure. So I see this as if you are the King of Cups and you are with somebody who is more of the Queen of Pentacles, maybe they tend to be someone who is so you could be the water sign here, and this could be someone you're in a relationship with who is an earth sign, or it could just be you tend to be the one who's more emotionally mature in your dynamic, in your relationship, and this person is not as emotionally mature, or just doesn't really, I wouldn't say they're not as emotionally mature. There's somebody who's more materially secure. So this might be they're more of the provider. They might be someone who just does better at finances, you know what I mean? But like in a partnership, they're the ones who be having a savings account and have their money and finances together. But right now it's in reverse, and you may not, if you are the King of Cups person, be used to seeing this person feeling insecure in their material world, or just feeling insecure in general. They may be feeling insecure about this relationship. Going back to the last video, maybe there was something that happened, a breakdown in your relationship, that they may really be leaning on your emotional empathy and intuitiveness to love up on them. They may need to themselves love up on themselves and pay attention to what's going on in their own healing journey, that they're being called to do work right now. And if this is not a relationship, if you are not in a relationship, this is also still relevant, because this could just be a dynamic within yourself, right? This could be a dynamic where I think for a lot of folks right now, there's a lot of insecurity coming up. Just insecurity financially, especially because of the world we live in, and inflation, and how things just continue to get more and more expensive, and the current political dynamics, the current world news, you know, you turn that stuff on and start looking at what's going on around you. It's very easy to feel insecure about the physical world, of what's going on right now in our physical senses, and the overall health and state of the world, right? This could also be just feeling insecure in yourself, working on your own self-worth, feeling like you've been beating yourself up in your head a lot lately, and that's part of that mental health breakdown that I've kind of talked about in the last video, or where that breakdown happened, right? If you've been experiencing a lot of this is also this King of Cups who is coming out, right, of you right now, who is emotionally intelligent, who is emotionally mature, who has a cup that they have overflow with, you know, and want to be able to bring that healing to you and love up on you, and allowing yourself to be open to receiving that emotional healing right now, because you can't outthink your way, Queen of Pentacles reverse, to feeling secure. So really opening up your heart and your emotional space. This could be a lot of lethargic, like healing, cleansing, crying that's coming through right now. And if this is a relationship, you could be having a lot of healing conversations right now. If there was a breakdown in your relationship, you could be, I'm lots of fiery, passionate, other activities, if you know what I mean, are just, I see this more though on a real, like, being able to open up a door for healing, because it's never anyone's responsibility to come in and heal us and help us and take that burden from us, right? There's this idea that the savior and desire, right, that someone's going to come in and save us. And I think it's very important that we acknowledge that, yeah, community is important. I'm a big believer in the power of community and humans being communal creatures. But also, like, on the other side of that, right, there is something toxic about this idea that we are helpless and we are victims and that we need someone to come save us and we can't do anything on our own. And of course, being communal creatures, I don't think we're meant to do everything on our own, but just make sure that there's a healthy relationship with those ideas in your mind, and you're not putting yourself in this place of, I'm a victim, I'm incapable of fixing my situation, I'm just always going to be a fuck up. I'm always going to be, screw this up. Sorry, I try not to cuss on here because, YouTube guidelines and all that, but we're just gonna pretend collectively that didn't happen. You know what I mean? So it's this, fill this energy out and how it resonates for your situation. But I think Spirit's just highlighting that this dynamic is still at play. You may have, like, throughout the, like, feel like, oh my gosh, I'm on the other side. Things are finally starting to just feel a lot more settled in my life. And then all of a sudden this flares up, this insecurity, you get triggered randomly, right? It could be like a bill that shows up that you forgot you had to pay, or maybe you're looking for a job or more employment opportunities and they just haven't been coming, and you start getting really freaked out about it, or whatever it is, right? It's this feeling of this sharp sense of security or insecurity coming through, and really needing to tap into your heart space, your emotional intelligence to help guide yourself through that circumstance at this time. Very beautiful. Alrighty. Any other messages for anybody here, Spirit, that you would like to speak on? I just want to do one more pull and see if there's anything specific for someone out there right now that Spirit wants to speak on. 7 of Swords. What about the 7 of Swords do you want me to mention, Spirit? Just 7 of Swords, I guess. Shoot. Have Empress, 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like when I see these 3 together, because these 2 landed by each other, I see this as, honestly, with the 7 of Swords and the 9 of Pentacles, I feel like, because going back to the 2 of Swords, even though things are settling a little bit and you're feeling a lot calmer than you may have felt the last couple of weeks, you may feel a lot more like, okay, we are figuring this out. Like I said, there's still gonna be those triggers that may come up and needing to navigate that, right? There's still gonna be information with the 7 of Swords here that you don't understand, that you don't have the full scope, you don't have the full picture right now. And I think Spirit is telling you to not let that freak you out, to not let that overwhelm you, to not let that scare you. You're not gonna have the full picture of how things are going to work out almost ever about anything, and that's okay, and that shouldn't prevent you from allowing yourself to sit in your house and enjoy and have time of rest. I think it's very important, given how hectic the energy has been the last couple of weeks. I think Spirit is also saying it's very important to give yourself time for yourself, time to rest, time where you're not thinking about anything, time where you're not trying to figure out how everything fits together, time where you're just allowing yourself to be, just allowing yourself to love up on yourself, allowing yourself to practice self-care, to do things that make you feel good. And in that space is actually where your power comes from, right? That's where this Empress energy comes from. It's your ability to know, yeah, I don't have all the information. I'm not going to have all the information. I don't need to wait till I figure it all out to feel empowered and to feel like I can take on life. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of times we're expecting or thinking or can be in a trap of feeling like, well, I don't know how to do this thing and I don't have it figured out yet, so I can't be as confident about it. And I think what Spirit is showing here is that you're not going to have it all figured out. You're not going to understand how everything fits, and that's okay. And in that space, you're still allowed to enjoy the beauty of who you are, of what it is that you bring. So focus on that. Celebrate the things you do know. Celebrate the things you do bring. Those things. Like, don't focus on all the things you don't know and all the things that are not going right and all the things that you're what ifs and what if I can't afford this next month, and what if my this bill is more expensive. Like, let's say you went to the hospital recently and you're sitting here, oh my gosh, what if that bill is like insane and I cannot afford it? Do not do that to yourself. It's not that it's not valid or right to have those fears or to focus on that, right? But what Spirit's saying is that's actually disempowering you and is not going to help you. You're never going to know what that bill is going to be until it shows up in the mail. So any of this time you're spending worrying about it, freaking out about it, unless it's motivating you to go out and get some money, just sitting there in your house thinking, wow, oh my gosh, what is it going to be? I don't know what I'm going to do, will not help you. And what Spirit wants you to focus on in this moment is what it is that you do bring, what it is that you do have at your disposal in your life right now that is beautiful, that is amazing, that is your oasis, that is your castle. Spirit wants you to tap into that, your temple, your beautiful fortress, and to enjoy the landscape of what it is, because this moment right here, I feel like Spirit's really stressing this right now, is so unique, is so rare, is so beautiful for all the things that you already have. And it may be really hard for you to acknowledge it because you're constantly thinking about all the things you don't know and all the things you don't have and all the things you haven't figured out and all the ways that things are going wrong. They're never going to be 100% perfect. This life is so short. This life happens so fast. And Spirit wants you to focus on what it is that you do bring, that's uniquely you, that's beautifully you, that's amazing, that's beautiful already. Maybe it's the health of your someone you love. Focus on how awesome that is, that you get to see them every day. You know what I mean? That you get to be in community with them. Maybe you don't have always the best relationship, or, you know, you got into a fight or whatever it is, right? So let's say, for example, you know, it's a parent, right? And maybe you and this parent, you know, you love them very much, but, you know, you don't really have, like I said, the best relationship with them. Try to focus on the fact, man, I'm just grateful that they're alive. I'm grateful that they're doing well. I'm grateful, you know, even if they're not doing, you don't know how they're doing. I'm grateful that, you know, as far as I know, their health is okay. You know, they're healthy and alive in this moment. Spirit really wants you to focus on those things in your life right now, the beautiful things that are happening in your life right now, because that's where your power is derived from. That's where your confidence is derived from. That's where your glow is derived from. And that's not because we're not acknowledging the bad or the shadow aspects of life, but I feel like this past couple of weeks, it may have gone too far into those aspects, and you need to bring yourself back to the light. You need to bring yourself back into balance, and you need to bring yourself back into your power. You have to choose to trust. You have to choose to be happy. You have to choose to save yourself, is what Spirit is saying. And it's coming through really, really strong right now. Whew. I'm so glad I continued pulling, because I feel like that message really needed to be heard for somebody here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull some advice cards. Some last little bit of advice cards from my Oracle decks. Let's start with the Thread of Fate, and then we'll end with, the Void. That's funny. Back of the deck, the Warrior. See, you are a warrior, baby. You a warrior. And not a martyr. Not, oh, it's always the trauma and tribulation. No, you are a warrior. Life is filled with battles and victories. We got this. There's a confidence that Spirit wants you to step into. There's an empowerment that Spirit is asking and blessing over your life in this moment. But I'm going to go ahead and read the Void here. And this card is all about, being in a place that's uncomfortable, where you don't know where the next step is. And instead of running away from it or getting in your head about it, you allow yourself to just be there in the uncomfortable feeling, and to practice self-care and loving up on yourself and doing your best to make the most of it. So I'm going to go ahead and read this card, the Void. The void can be deeply uncomfortable. It is nothing, an emptiness that penetrates all aspects of self. We may feel blank. What we were once passionate about feels cold to us. We may not be able to see or sense anything about where we are going next. We may enter a void after all that we have known is not what we thought it was. It may feel like disbelief. It may feel like you don't have any faith. It may feel like you don't know what is real and what is not. What is real and what is not. This is the part you must surrender to. Hang out in your garden. You know what I'm saying? Surrender. I don't understand it. I choose to trust. I'm going to give that to God. I'm going to give that to God right now. Thank you, God. I know you took care of it. I know you're taking care of it right now. I'm going to go make myself a nice smoothie. I'm going to go stretch outside in the sun real quick. And I'm going to give that to you, God. Thank you for taking care of me. This may also indicate a time where you are questioning everything you believe in your spiritual beliefs, or questioning your significance in the world. That's the part I was talking about earlier. I'm a mess up. I can't get anything right. Right? If you're feeling that, this is what Spirit is telling you. Give it to God. Give it to the divine. When you are in this void, you may have an instinct to fill the empty space, right? And this goes back to that reading previous, right? Where you may try to fill that empty space with addictions. You may try to fill that empty space with emotional volatility, you know? Because we can get uncomfortable here, we may miss some of the lessons. We are taught to constantly push forward. The void teaches us to be still and be okay with uncertainty. Be okay with that Seven of Swords, of not understanding what's going to happen, and what if the bill is, and what if this doesn't happen, and what if I can never. We'll figure it out when we get there, right? I trust. I'm going to give it to God. I'm going to figure it out. Trying to escape this space ensures we stay here or return sooner than we would like. You may have an instinct to fill the emptiness, but remind yourself that emptiness is a prayer. Emptiness is a prayer. That's right. I'm going to go ahead and also read the beginning of the Warrior card because I feel called to. It says, pulling the Warrior card. Pulling the Warrior card indicates a need for strong fire energy and internal power. That goes back to that Empress energy, feeling empowered. The Warrior is a call to action as opposed to just a state of mind. It asks you to examine not just oppressive people in your life, but also the larger systems within the world. And then get to work. The Warrior is not about complacency. It is identifying where you need to stand up more. You may make those you feel uncomfortable, but you must continue forward. And I will say it also might make you feel uncomfortable, but you must continue forward. These lessons are essential to where we're going next in life. All right, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pull one last card from the Moon deck. Again, if you've liked this reading and it's resonated with you, make sure to give it a like, and to drop a comment down below, or subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you'd like to join the Patreon community, where there's more exclusive content, I offer free personalized tarot readings for my highest Patreon subscribers. They get one monthly, and it's also where I drop exclusive contents, journal prompt questions, things like that. So make sure you check that out down below if you're interested in joining a community of like-minded folks who are just here to support one another on our journey through and walk through this life. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one last card, a little affirmative love message from Spirit to you. Spirit, what would you like to say? I craft my core desires with certainty and ease. And I love that that last part is focusing on ease. If you have not been feeling ease, Spirit wants to bring ease into your life right now. Spirit wants to bring that anxiety, that anxiousness, that anger, that fear. Spirit wants you to not be in that. Spirit doesn't want that for your life. They want ease. They want you to feel confident. They want you to feel empowered. They want you to feel supported in your endeavors. This card is called Desire. It says our deepest desires can act as a roadmap, guiding us to craft a life with purpose and meaning. It is in our nature to create, yet sometimes it's just a matter of slowing down enough to remember who we are. You are a craftsperson. If you listen closely, you know what you want and how to manifest it. When you claim your innate ability to craft and create, you connect to a deep knowing that is unshakable. It lives in your bones and is magnetic when awakened. You may create art, a home, a family, an adventure, a business, delicious food, or a garden. The options are endless. Instead of exhausting your energy and repressing your desires, give them a direction, no matter how small. You hold the reins and can steer them. You hold the reins and can steer them. You are empowered to be able to take control of your mental, emotional, spiritual health at this moment, your life at this moment, and guide it in collaboration with the universe, with the divine. You hold those reins. You deserve space to pause. You deserve space to pause and inquire. Spirit is giving you space to pause and inquire. It is not a punishment to be here. Feel a sense of trust and ease with all that you are crafting in life. And then there is a guided ritual companion that you can do in order to bring this energy into your life more. I'm going to go ahead and put this ritual companion down below in the Patreon. So if you're interested in doing the ritual for this, you will find that on the Patreon down below. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and leave the reading there. I'm going to thank your guides, my guides, and the divine for this beautiful day and this time together and being able to read with you. I want to send all my love your way, and I look forward to connecting with you deeper in the next reading. Until then, take care and talk to you later. Peace.